Today, big disclaimer so I don't get fucking sued. What was that? That was a deer. What I'm about to say is not researched. It's all, it's conjecture. I'm congested. It's all conjecture. Didn't read up online because I don't think I have to. People told me things. Maybe it matters, maybe it doesn't. So, hey, if you don't see my face anymore, I got snatched off the street by people in a black van. So let's talk about TC and what Behringer is doing to companies. Because somebody mentioned to me, and I actually couldn't honestly tell you who it was. They were like, now I know who it was. Man, I could honestly tell you who it was. Hello, you know who you are. She said, yeah, that's what they're doing to all the companies. So Behringer is buying all these amazing brands. Midas, Aston Mikes, what else? Lab. Didn't they buy Lab? Gruppen, yeah. And first thing that Behringer does is, we're making everything in our factory in China now, which apparently is going to be all AI and robotanized and, take over the worldy kind of bullshit. And they make things at good quality, decent quality, at very fair prices. I mean, dumping prices. But the first thing that happens when Behringer buys a company is all the manufacturing gets moved into their company, which is cool. And they're dropping the prices. Dropping, because Uli Behringer has this thing, it even was printed on TC stuff. Yeah, we are the music tribe, we want to empower the poor, the weak, the needy, or whatever words he used. God, that was cringy as fuck. So anyway, dropping the prices on stuff that honestly doesn't need price dropping. TC stuff was very fairly priced already for what you got. So let's take TC, because this is really what it's about. Because TC is essentially dead. And correct me if I'm wrong. If you're in the know, find me on LinkedIn, find me on Facebook, and let me know if I'm wrong about this. So, Behringer bought TC years ago. And I don't know why TC sold. Maybe there was a lot of money involved. But TC stood for high-end shit. I mean, high-end studio gear. The power core was great. That was done immediately. Boy, gone. Let's not support anyone anymore. Let's not deal with software. Let's not have customer support. All the stuff that makes a company great, Behringer takes away immediately. Including, and this is what we're getting to, R&D. So, TC made super good stuff. The tone print pedals, their studio stuff, really good shit. And they were bought by Behringer. And TC had just built a new headquarter up in Denmark, which is where they're from. Super beautiful house for research and development and video production, marketing, everything was there. And for a few years, well, first of all, many people, what the fuck? That was way fast. So many people were let go, other people left. There are people who left and started their own very successful distribution companies because they had all the connections in sales and whatever. Some research and development people went somewhere else. Marketing, their hands were tied. Behringer didn't want to do YouTube. Behringer didn't want to do any of the stuff that TC was really good at. And so their hands were tied, so they left. At some point, TC realized, we need some of these people, hired them back. And that went on for 2-3 years now. They hired new R&D people, very smart, young, intelligent, all those are the same words, people, right? Well, and they, for a short while, did new stuff. There were those amp simulator pedals, which were not the greatest, but good for the money, absolutely. And they smartly, intelligently rehoused all the software of their pedals. Where are we going? I think we're going this way. In new multi-pedals. And they made the Plethora X5, X3, and then the X1. Very clever, because it's really just something that they already had in terms of algorithms and giving it a new multi-effect housing. Very clever to repurpose something that kind of had outlived its life cycle as a product and reinvigorate it. Made in the Chinese Behringer factory. Clever, very clever. Redoing the 2290 as a pedal. It is amazing. It's my main pedal that I use for amp demos. Yes, absolutely. So it looked as if it was going well. All of a sudden, there's news. Behringer is closing down TC in Denmark, which effectively means they're closing down TC. Because a company's heart and soul are the people, which so many fucking CEOs don't get. They just don't understand that without people, you are nothing. Not your brother, not your, cousin-in-law, whatever. People that grew up with the company, that have loyalty to it, people that believe in the product and everything, those are the people you freaking need to hold on to, because they will fight to make good products for you. Not with TC. Yep, they had that beautiful building, which I assume belonged to Behringer at that point in time. Don't know what's happening with it. Don't know if they sold it. Everything, China. But marketing, gone. They are now looking for jobs. R&D, well, they didn't take R&D with them, because some of the core R&D people, there's so many stories of, we have this product, guess who it was designed by? R&D people from Behringer. TC had the Helicon line for vocals, TC Helicon. The Voice Live was the best product for a vocalist on the market, and there's nothing right now replacing it. The market is devoid of a product like the Voice Live. And these Voice Live products were amazing. Nope, that was the first thing that went when Behringer took over. Nobody paid attention to that anymore. And again, so many stories that I hear behind the scenes of, I used to work for TC, or who did the algorithm for that? A guy that worked for TC. So now the new team that was there at least the last couple of years also stayed in Denmark, and very intelligently, so that they could keep their houses and the places where they lived and the lifestyle they have, they were absorbed by Neural. Now that's clever. Neural needs clever engineers. Neural is coming strong with very good products. And they just made a Neural office in Denmark instead of convincing them to come to Finland, which is a nice place. Nope, they allowed them to be in Denmark. So it's now Neural Denmark. And I'm expecting great things from Neural. I'm hoping Neural is going to have like a delay and, individual pedals and stuff like this. I have no idea where they're going, but I think Neural should do that. With the combined knowledge of the the combined knowledge of Neural's engineers and TC's R&D team, at least the latest, that's awesome. So R&D, marketing, gone. I'm supposed to talk to people that did marketing for Aston mics, meaning they're not guitar players. And we wrote an email, and they were like, that's really interesting, let's talk. I wrote back, 3 weeks, nothing. So the communication that they think is good communication is, let's write one email in a chain of emails a month. It's weak, it's weird, it's not what it should be. I like to write an email, get something back 5 minutes later, write one, bam, 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 and we got something hashed out. Who's got time to wait 3 weeks for someone to write you back? So, TC Denmark dead. What's happening to product development? Well, the engineers are gone. Because, of course, let's look at who's behind it. Behringer. What is Behringer good at? Making things that already exist cheap. Then getting sued for it, and then getting all uppity like, oh, that's not right, and here's our people in black vans and all the lawyers. Right? And then suing back because they've got the financial power. Because apparently whoever's got the money is in the right. Well, not when it comes to patents and all that shit. So we know Behringer came on the market years and years and years and years ago by ripping off Mackie. Essentially, kind of ruining the company and their standing with high-end small mixers, because Mackie wasn't cheap, but they were very good. Now, what have you heard from Mackie lately? Okay, they do the podcast studios, that's good stuff. And that battery-powered speaker, the Showbox, I think it's called, that I reviewed, is extremely good. But I'm gonna say Behringer essentially destroyed Mackie's small mixer game. And then they're ripping off all the old 80s boxes from Roland and from Boss and from all these companies. Rippity offy. And we know that's what they're doing. They even did a clone that literally looked like it in smaller that said Centaur on it. And Oli Behringer's philosophy is we need to have dumping prices, and then he pulled down the TC prices more and more, devaluing the way that the brand is seen. If you're seeing as a budget brand, people will think it's budget stuff. It can be as good as TC was, which it is, but there is no perceived value other than, oh, it's still cheap now. Makes no sense. And then, of course, they also released a lot of Behringer pedals as TC pedals. It was one of the first moves they did, which was a very bad move and immediately pulled the brand down. So none of the, top studio stuff, that's all gone. TC had audio interfaces, that's all gone. Anything, get this, anything you need support for, anything you need tech support for. What Behringer wants to do with the company is, and this, again, it's just my observation. I'm not saying I know this. I'm just saying that's what it looks like to me. Because I have a little bit of information here or there. They want to buy it, take their products, make them dirt-ass cheap, and at some point, destroy it. Get rid of all R&D, get rid of everything. And then what's left? I have no idea. Maybe just make legacy products. But everything that costs money when you do product development, Oli doesn't want to spend money on. There was, get this, no manual for the 2290p. When I asked about many things, I had to have a conversation with the designer himself, but you can't have that. So I'm like, where's the manual? Well, Oli doesn't want a manual. I'm like, what do you mean? Well, we have to tell people that you should be looking at the original 2290 rack unit from the 80s and read that manual. Because Oli would have had to pay someone to write a manual for a very good, not cheap, relatively cheap, but a very good €300, €350 product, which needs a fucking manual. Nope, manual costs money, we're not doing that. Marketing costs money, oh no, we're not paying YouTubers. They paid me a few times, but I'm pretty sure I was the exception. Anything that a normal company spends money on, website, manuals, marketing, research and development. Now, he would like great products from other companies handed to him, and he can reverse engineer it and then just make it cheaper in his robot AI take over the world factory. I don't think that's good. Is it smart? Probably. Is it making him a lot of money? Very likely. Is it what we want from our favorite brands? There's a cat that's running away in the middle of the road because it doesn't understand it can actually go to the side. You're cute, kitty cat. That's how you do it. What happened to TC? If you ask me, it's gone. Because who's designing stuff? Nobody at Behringer. Headquarters gone. R&D gone. I don't think Behringer's going to rehire new developers because, they could have just kept the ones that know their shit that they already had. So I'm thinking, TC, dead. Why kill it? Makes no sense. It's a beloved company with great products. But, well, the one industry contact that I have that I talked to, said, yep, that's exactly what they're doing with every company they're buying. Run it for a while and then kill it, and then it's gone. Good stuff, huh? Really good stuff. So if you're asking yourself what happened to TC, that. If you're asking yourself, is there gonna be new stuff? I highly doubt it. Will there be the plethora and the tone print pedals and that stuff, the stuff we know? Will that still exist? Likely, okay? And they might rip off some pedals from someone and then just release it as TC, but I don't know. It's kind of weird because they did the clone as a Behringer. I don't understand how any of that is making them sleep. I mean, all comes back to, why can't we have pride in what we do? Why can't we have good, honest people that love a company and just make good products? Does Uli really need more money? Yeah, that's how these milieu billionaires are. More, and let's roll over the little guy. Kind of sad. But that's what it is. I'm back home. I might be completely wrong about this. What do I know? Animals at the end.
The garden's full of last year's leaves, the mailbox of reminder fees, and I'm not sure I'm needing all those shoes. The hall's a mess, can't find my keys. The kid is hurt his other knee, and now we're cutting